Hi, Ray here. Welcome to the show and Happy New Year to you all. I hope you enjoyed the opening act. In this video, I'm going to tell you why I've chosen to use a teleprompter. First, we'll look at the unit I bought, the Teleprompter app, and the whys. And then, if you choose to stick around, I'll tell you more about that magic intro, give you my reasons for buying a teleprompter and why you might find one useful as well. But before I begin, let me be clear. I bought this gear with my own anemic Canadian dollars. And I feel the need to announce this since when I either praise some product or criticize another, some wags think that I must have been bribed in some way or another by the manufacturer whose gear I favor. I wish. This channel isn't even monetized yet, and you can help me in that department by liking this video and subscribing if you haven't already done so. Okay, so after some research, I opted for the Glide Gear TMP 100, which at $269 Canadian seems like a good value for the money compared to professional units that can run over $1,000. And this looks like it'll do fine. Just open it up and show you what it looks like. So there we have it. It comes in this padded kind of padding, this foam padding, which I suppose it could have been a bit more durable, but I suppose that would make things more expensive. Specs say it's made of 6061 grade aluminum, and it features impact resistant high definition glass that delivers 70/30 visible light transmission. So that's okay, this must be, yeah, this here is the shade. So we'll figure out how this all goes together. I think what that is there is a carrying strap for the bag. I don't know if I'll ever use that. So there it is for now. Let's put it together and see how it works. So this teleprompter is pretty easy to set up. I already installed the plate for this tripod head into this, I suppose, cheese plate here. Put that into the 1/4-20 hole. And so now all I have to do is line it up and slide it on and lock it in there. And then it's just a matter of adjusting the glass to about 45 degrees, looking at it this way. Here is the slider that holds the iPad. This is also, you can also use this with a phone, and it comes with a couple of brackets for that, but I'm going to use an iPad, which I incidentally stole from my wife, although I did replace it with a new iPad Pro, so she kindly allowed me to steal her older iPad, what do they call it? iPad, I don't know, a smaller iPad. So here's where the camera mounts. Let's mount the camera. And likewise, I also have an Arca Swiss plate on here with a 1/4-20 on it. And that will give it a little bit of rise, and I'll show you why in a moment. So if we get this lined up, and I'm going to mount it. I've got an 85mm lens here on my Nikon Z6, and that's quite often what I use. You'll see it at the start of this video and perhaps the end. Anyway, that's what I have set up on there. And then, oh, maybe I'll also mention this, that I've got this small rig cold shoe mount, which I'll put onto here, and this can hold my Atomos Ninja 5, and I'll show you later how I accomplished that. Or put in some B-roll or something. Then we have this unit here, and again, the reason that I've got that Arca Swiss plate on there is to give me a little bit more clearance for this. So first of all, this goes on the front here, we'll just put that on roughly. Well, no, let's not do it roughly. So this is just some Velcro here, and just pushes on there. And then at the sides here, we have some zippers. Now, I think they should have just gone for Velcro here as well. These are a little bit fiddly, so we have to, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very fiddly. So yeah, I would have preferred they just Velcroed these. Get around here, and so you can see it's a bit of a fiddle, but once you get them on, they're not too bad. And I foresee seeing this fitted up, so I'll just leave the other one for now. Now, here, you have to be careful with this, like an old view camera now. And on this side, it's just a drawstring. We draw that in, but you can see that that slid under there nicely. If I didn't have this riser plate on here, it might be a different story. So that's all good now. And you can see how that's set up. Now we just have to put on our iPad, and I'll talk about the app that I use in a moment. But the iPad slips in here, and we have these little knobs at the back here for this. Slide this in, snug it up, and we're pretty much good to go now. Once I've set up, I mean, this would be good to go now, other than the fact that I generally use my Ninja 5 with it. But that's the way it looks, except for the fact that if we're going to read this properly, and just show you here, then we need to turn it around so that it reads properly. Otherwise, well, you know, I used to write backwards as a child, being dyslexic, so maybe I could work it out. But most people are going to want to be able to read it the right way around. And so you reverse this here on the iPad. So on to the app that I use for the teleprompter, which is actually called the Teleprompter app. I think I mentioned earlier that the teleprompter also comes with this adapter for use with a smartphone, a couple of little brackets. See, this is not all scripted. And I think I also mentioned that although I'm not going to be using this with the teleprompter, I probably will use it with my iPhone because it's much sturdier than the GorillaPod iPhone holder thingy that I have, and it will work great with my larger GorillaPod. So to display my scripts, I chose a teleprompter app called Teleprompter Premium, and I chose that one principally because it's a one-time purchase of $21 Canadian compared to its main competitor, which has a recurring yearly fee of $30. So while Teleprompter Premium doesn't feature voice activation like its main competitor, it can be controlled from another device, and I use my iPhone. So I'm actually controlling this right now. I can pause it, I can rewind it, I can do all that kind of stuff. And since I write scripts on my MacBook using Pages, it's great that I can easily import them directly into the app converted to PDFs from my iCloud documents. Easy peasy. Still here? Thanks for sticking around. On to my story, an explanation of why I turned to a teleprompter. The star of the intro was my dad, Ray Parker Sr., who was, until his death 6 years ago, a magician, MC, stand-up comic, actor, and singer. In fact, an all-round vaudevillian, as his promotion said. I'm told that my first appearance as his sidekick was as a toddler. I don't remember, but Dad was doing a stand-up routine at a theater, and unbeknownst to him, one of his comic buddies pushed me onto the stage. Dad couldn't figure out why the audience was laughing before he'd even got to the punchline until he looked down to see me standing at his side. In my youth, I accompanied him on stage voluntarily, along with my brother and sister. We were a family of clowns. We did everything from kids' Christmas parties, the horror, to children's fundraising telethons. And as a blues harmonica player, I did my own gigs in nightclubs and bars. But I didn't inherit Dad's confident stage presence. In fact, Paralyzing stage fright convinced me I preferred a life outside the spotlight. And the same can be said for this gig. I'll set up the camera, turn it on along with the audio recorder, only to be struck dumb. It's not unusual for me to take months to make one of these videos. So after years of struggling, I bought the teleprompter. I mean, if talking heads on the evening news and presidents use these things, why should I be ashamed to give myself a break? I've turned to one of these sophisticated cheat sheets primarily to cut down on the gigabytes of raw footage it takes to edit down my bumblings into a usable video. A year or so back, I built some acoustic panels to help improve the audio quality of my videos, but arguably I think it's more important to actually get through a script in less than 100 takes. So I hope this investment will pay off. So even if I just write, say, a bunch of bullet points, it can keep me on track and ensure I don't miss the important stuff. While a teleprompter is not a magic wand, and I'm still going to have to work on my delivery and try not to sound like a robot, it can, I think, give the illusion. My dad hated the word tricks as related to a magician's skills. At least it can help me look as though I've taken a few Toastmaster courses. So add to my nerves. Tell me in the comments below if you think I managed to pull this off naturally, or if I sound like a Dalek. And would you yourself find a teleprompter useful? Again, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more of my work. Talk to you soon, for real.